G'day, have I got a story for you? Check the disclaimer. Season 2, Episode 30. Realisations. Woman speaking. I take a step and blink a few times. I haven't been in such bright daylight for such a long time. An old couple are here in this beautiful garden with 3 boys, all with messy red hair and green eyes. The boys look up at me shyly. Do I know them? Are they from the facility? I push the pram down the ramp, and as the man rocks the log from side to side, we all watch the portal disappear. Does this old couple have tears in their eyes? Why? As we walk, the woman begins speaking, and suddenly, I know who she is. I stop walking and stare. Is she? Yes, I'm sure of it. She is my mum, and is he my dad? I rush over to them and hug them both, crying uncontrollably, and they do the same. I thought it had been years since I was taken, but how many years? The scientists told me that I had been there 4 years, but I estimated at least 6 years, maybe 7. But now I'm thinking it must have been far longer than I realised. Oh, they are old. My parents are old. Oh, how old are they? How old am I? How many years has it been? Eventually, we all walk into a beautifully kept building. I read Golden Oaks Orphanage on the sign above the door. Why was I sent to an orphanage? What are my parents doing at an orphanage? We sit down in a lovely room, and the little boys come over to see my baby girls, who I thought were asleep. They are awake, smiling up at the boys. While we talk, I cuddle both my baby girls, so thankful that I got them back. A young lady serves us tea and long chocolate bickies. Chocolate. I remember chocolate, I think. Instead of leaving, the young lady sits with us, and it is then that I notice there are 5 cups of tea. Is someone else coming? There are also 3 smaller cups with juice for the boys. I look at the boys as we speak. They are so sweet with my baby girls. And now it's my mum and dad's turn to cuddle my baby girls. I had many babies in that facility. Is that why these little boys are here? Are they mine? They notice me looking at them and sit still, looking up at me shyly. I thought I had triplets a few times. No, they're probably not mine. They took all my babies, usually the moment they were born, although I was allowed to keep some for about a week, until they were sure I had bonded with them. They liked to roughly take them from me mid-feed. Oh, I don't want to remember those things. Mum, I ask, trying not to be too hopeful. How old are these boys? My mum introduces us. These boys are 4 years old. They have been waiting a long time to meet you, she says. Please meet Jed, Fred, and Ned. I hug them all. I remember naming you. I knew they would try to make me forget, but I was sure I had 3 babies. And I was sure I saw red hair. So I gave you names that rhymed with red to help me remember. Through my tears, I ask, are my 2 orange-haired babies here? They are probably about 6 years old now. I look at how much my mum and dad have aged, although I suppose they could be older than that. How old would they be? Is this young lady one of them? She looks too old to be one of them. How old is she? 18? 20? Even though I suspect that I had many more babies. I remember that I had twins. I think they might have been my first babies. They had longish, orange, wispy hair when they were born. Well, actually red hair, but it looked more orange to me. I was about 12 years old when I had them. How old am I now? 18? Older? I hugged my 3 boys, one sitting each side of me and one on my knee. I whispered to them that I love them whenever there are gaps in our conversation. I remember that Mum was going to be 33 the year that I was going to be 13. She was 20 years old when I was born. How old is she now? A lot older than 33. The young lady stands and says, I am sorry. I am not your daughter. I am one of the caretakers here. She pauses as though trying to work out how to say something. You have a mind ability, don't you? Wait, did my voice say that? You are accustomed to speaking mind to mind and find speaking out loud cumbersome. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to actually say that. Sometimes what I'm thinking just comes out of my mouth. We know, she says. It's what they did to you. You were stopped from being allowed any mind-to-mind communication, and eventually speaking out loud became your natural way to communicate instead. Oh, I remember that. The pain. Years of it. Every time my mind reached out. I can see in your mind, she lets me know, that you named your first babies Imagine and Thoughtful. Yes. Are they here? Were they rescued? Suddenly I sob uncontrollably. I know they are gone. It happened right in front of me. They made me watch. Oh, I don't want to remember. Remember to forget. Remember to forget. Remember to forget. I make myself listen to what she is telling me while I hug my boys closer. The orphanage has 6 floors, each floor dedicated to what? Something. The 3rd floor has some what? I was going to ask her to repeat what she just said, but she is already repeating it. I have some more children that were rescued on the 3rd floor. What are we waiting for? I ask. I want to see them. I want to hug them. I want to tell them that I love them. I can see all 3 of them, my mum, my dad, and the young lady. They all hesitate. I stand up and my 3 boys run to the door. Mum stands and touches my shoulder and says, we just need to let you know some things first. Now it's my turn to hesitate. Why? Is there something wrong with them? I ask, suddenly remembering some of the awful things that happened. No, nothing like what you were thinking, the young lady says. It's just that there's a lot. Probably more than you remember. She and Mum sit back down, so I do the same. My 3 boys run back over to me and all try to sit on my knee at once. I hug all 3 of them as they snuggle next to me. Mum and Dad are still cuddling my twin baby girls. We have a very long conversation, and now I know how my children were rescued. So different to my rescue. 2 sets of triplets besides the boys, and also twins besides my baby girls. Wow, that's 13 children. I have 13 children. You have more than 13, the young lady says. And yes, 2 of them were in wheelchairs, as you suspected. But we got them to an MM, and they can both walk now. Dad says,
all of your children are healthy. We made sure of it. Any that needed the MM, we made sure we got them to one.
I asked them how many children I have, but they changed the subject to ages. My mum is what? 63 years old? No. Although she does look older, I suppose. She looks like an older woman, but not that old. As I look at her face and then at Dad's face, I realise that they could be that old. I ask Dad if he is 68 years old. He is. I am 43 years old. 43? I can't be 43, can I? Mum is 20 years older than me. Mum is 63. Am I really 43? I sit silently for a minute. The young lady calls out, Dale, could you come in now, please? A young man comes in and stands next to her. She holds his hand and says, I would like to introduce you to Dale. He is my husband. I look up at him with watery eyes. He smiles at me. He seems like a nice person. Everyone seems nice here. I sit quietly again. I think I'll just wait to find out what these people want to do. Is this a simulation? I have been in simulations before and found it hard to tell the difference from reality. If I am 43, that means that I was gone for 31 years. 31 years! That's just not possible, is it? If they rescued some of my children, why didn't they rescue me? Why wait until now? Maybe they couldn't rescue me until now. Until that child I heard about could help. How could a child that small help? What they say she can do. No. But I did step through that portal thing. It all seems unbelievable. I'm just going to sit here and watch how this simulation, or whatever this is, plays out. The young lady stands up. This is not a simulation, she says. Please let me introduce myself properly. My name is Catherine, and I am your daughter-in-law. Dale is your son. He is a man. He can't be my son. Older brother maybe, but not my son. Oh, 43. Gone for 31 years. Maybe I am old enough to have a son as old as him. He sits at the other end of the couch that I am sitting on. The young lady Catherine waits for a moment, then leaves the room. I look at Dale. He looks a bit like the man in that old painting that I often walked past at the facility. Okay, that's why he seems familiar. I suppose they took the image of the painting and gave him red hair like me, so I would think we have a connection in this simulation. But how did they know what Mum and Dad would look like? Wait. Smells. That's what they can't add to simulations. Smells. I sniff. I sniff again. Is that Mum's perfume? She still wears the same perfume? I don't smell any tobacco. Maybe Dad doesn't smoke his pipe anymore. Dale is looking at me. He has watery eyes. Catherine returns with 2 children. One looks about 8 and the other maybe 6. Are they mine? I'm not sure. I don't think so. I would like to introduce you to our sons, Catherine says quietly. We named them after Dale's 2 brothers. Your sons, who are gone now. I'm sorry. Suddenly I remember the names. Jake, Tristan and Dale. The older boy, the 8-year-old, comes over and puts out his hand. Oh, he wants to shake hands. He tells me that his name is Tristan. My eyes fill with water again as I shake his hand. The other child approaches and shyly holds out his hand. The moment he says that his name is Jake, I sob. I can't help it. Until today, I have held in tears for years. Probably at least 6 years. Oh, no. It would be 31 years. Oh, Tristan tells me that he's glad that he has a grandma. Me, I'm a grandma. How can I be a grandma? I don't feel old. I'm I'm 43. My life. Where did my life go? All those years, they stole my life. They're sobbing. We all sit quietly for a while, even the children. Eventually, I go over to Dale and ask if I can hug him. He stands up and envelops me in his arms. We are both sobbing. I've never felt so. How would I describe this feeling? Accepted. Maybe loved. Like I suddenly belong. I'm not alone anymore. We sit and talk for what seems like a very long time. But when we check the time, it has only been 2 hours. It seems like days to me. My 3 boys ran off with Jake and Tristan to play. And when I finished feeding my twins, I put them in the pram. They are asleep now. I look so peaceful. More peaceful than I have ever seen them before. I take the pram and follow Mum and Dad to the lift. It looks like a tiny version of the elevators at the facility, with no doors. I get in first with the pram Dad and Mum will come up when the lift returns. The pram only just fits. Dale and Catherine call the boys theirs and mine. Mine. They are going to go up the stairs. Dad pulls the bar across and then reaches in to press the number 3. I am on my way to the 3rd floor to meet my other children and also more grandchildren. As I go past the 1st floor, I see what appears to be a small library. The lift continues, and on the 2nd floor, Dale and Catherine are standing in the room with 5 boys who are waving and smiling as the lift continues up to the 3rd floor. I look up and see the ceiling of the next room, the 3rd floor room. Then 5 girls, all about 15 years old. They are smiling and welcome me. They tell me their names and ask if they can hug me. I hold my arms out, and once again I am enveloped in acceptance and love. These girls are truly my daughters. I can feel it. I walk towards the door and one of them says that the rest of my family is in there. I leave the 5 girls who are looking at my babies in the pram, their sisters. As I take hold of the door handle, I realise that Mum and Dad are here with me. Everything seems to happen in slow motion. As I open the door, I see little faces looking up at me and then more faces behind them. And as I swing the door open, I see the room is filled with a mess of red hair and many green eyes looking at me. The feeling from the room is almost tangible. Excitement, happiness, relief, love. And from the smaller children, wide-eyed wonderment. How are these all mine? Adults, children, and grandchildren. I see 2 prams as well. A few without red hair really stand out. This is amazing. There are lots of hugs and tears, but also laughter. Eventually, they all line up in order of age. Each one tells me their name and age, and one thing they like to do. I was right. The 5 girls who met me at the lift are all 15 years old. 3 of them are triplets, and 2 are twins, born 8 months apart. I remember they always induced us to have our babies early. I was in the orange group. There were 3 groups of us. We all had red hair. One group was called orange, one was called red, and the other was called blue. My designation was orange 8. As my family all tell me their names, I take in the features of each of their faces. Most of them look like me, but also that man in the painting at the facility. Some have brown hair like him, but that was a very old painting. That man must be gone by now. 3 of my grandchildren have blonde hair, likely from their dad, a son-in-law who has blonde hair. Have I seen him before? Maybe not. He reminds me of the beautiful boys who often walk past our cell at the facility. I hug each of them, including the in-laws. It takes a very long time. But I don't mind. I am going to be a fantastic mum and grandma and mum-in-law. I still find it incredible to think that I am a grandma. Eventually, we all go to the dining hall on the top floor for a late lunch. The view is incredible and very bright after spending years underground. The cook herself comes over to me to serve my meal. That's nice. I look at her smiling face. Do I know her? Maybe she just looks like someone that I used to know when I was young. She's the tea lady. She used to sneak us biscuits and sometimes scones through the bars of our cell as she walked past. I liked that lady. She was kind and always smiled at us. There are 3 long tables here. I have soup at the first table, sandwiches at the second table, and a cup of tea and piece of cake at the third table, to make sure I sit with everyone. This food is so good and I am so full. I haven't had cake in years. I try to catch up on what each person has been doing in my absence. So many of them. And I find that I am drawn to each one. These children and adults are truly my family. We spend the whole afternoon in this room and eventually eat dinner here. Hot food. I haven't had hot food probably since I was taken from my parents when I was 12. 31 years. It is so good. I am often more when I am finished, but I have already eaten at least double what I usually eat in a day. I see the sun setting and go to stand at the huge windows to watch. It is so beautiful, and I find myself teary again. My children, all my family come and stand along the window with me. We watch the beautiful colours together in silence. Then, when the sun has set, Mum tells me that she has often sat up here in the past few years, watching the sunsets, thinking of me. My younger children now show me their rooms and books and toys, and when they snuggle down in their beds, I kiss each one of them on the forehead and make sure I tell them that I love them all. Some of my grandchildren are also staying the night along with their parents because they live too far away to drive home. They have comfy-looking mattresses on the floor. Some children want to know where I will sleep. I actually don't know yet, but I assure them that I will be here in the morning when they wake up. They seem happy and snuggle back down in their beds. After saying goodbye to the 2 families who will take my other grandchildren home to bed and be back in the morning, I sink into a delightfully comfortable chair to feed my twins. I am exhausted, but so happy. I wake up to find myself still in the comfy chair. It is dark in here. My twins are back in the pram next to me, sleeping peacefully. Who put them there? I see someone sitting opposite me. Who is she? It's hard to see in the dark. She lets me know that my parents went to bed hours ago, and she volunteered to wait with me until I woke up. I thank her and snuggle back into the chair, and she reminds me that I now have a bed to sleep in. I look over at the bed. Will I be able to sleep laying down? I have slept sitting up for so long. Light streams in from the hallway as she opens the door to leave. I look at her face and her grey curly hair. I thank her again and see a familiar smile. As she closes the door, I hear her say, "I'm so glad you're here, Orangeade." I sit for a moment. It's her. I rush and open the door, but she has gone. Thank you so much for joining me with a cuppa. I appreciate your company.